Pastor Jose Rivera travels more than any other pastor in the Carolina Conference. You see, from the city of Charlotte all the way to Fayetteville, he has 7 churches under his care. Pastor Rivera shares a church member's story.
I have an awesome member of my church that have an interesting story that you're going to like to hear about. I know something about her background, but I'm going to let her to tell you about it.
I grew up in Puerto Rico. My father, he was a preacher in the Pentecostal church, and that's where I was raised, in Pentecostal church. And through my youngest year, teenagers year, I was listening to him preaching, and I found out that I was going to church because I was afraid of him. I didn't want to go to hell. That's what I was understanding about the preachings and everything. So it wasn't really a genuine love. It was more like I was afraid of it. Like I don't have another choice. Either I go to hell or I go to heaven. So let me go to church. But there was a lot of things about it that they didn't make sense to me. Never, and I didn't agree with it. So when I reached my age and I got here to North Carolina back in 1994, I saw a sign, a billboard sign in Owen Drive, and they were announcing this seminar on Revelation on the English-speaking church in Fayetteville. And I told my mom about it, and we decided to go. And it was just awesome. It was just awesome. For the first time in my life, it made sense. I started visiting other denominations. But that day, when I went over there, I never forgot that seminar. It was like a whole week. And I never forgot about it because when I started visiting other denominations, none of them made sense. After me listening to this message, nothing else made sense to me. It took me 10 years to go back to the Adventist church. And I did. When I went over there, I met Zach and Kathy McFadden. They decided to go home and start giving me studies about the doctrine of Adventist church, Revelation. And even though they lived so far away, they were coming for months to my house once a week. And they were teaching me everything about the Bible, the studies, all these important messages, the 3 angels, everything. And for the first time in my life, that's when I fall in love with God.
One day, when we are launching a youth week, Marilyn decided to attend that week, and she was so impressed when the last Sabbath, the preacher told her when he was making the call to the church, he said, Marilyn, you need to decide for Jesus. You need to do what you have to do. Jesus is calling you. Do what you have to do. And when the meeting finished, she was outside and said hi to the preacher and said, Preacher, thank you for the word of encouragement that you told me. And the preacher said, well, who are you? And Marilyn said, do you know me? No, I never met you before, but it's good to know you now. Who are you? And Marilyn said, but you told me, and you called me for my name when you were preaching. So how do you know my name? She said, well, possibly the Holy Spirit really who's calling me. So she decided to do something for God. She talked with her mother and came to my church a couple of weeks later to the meeting that I have to launch a program, evangelistic program.
There was a campaign going on in church, and like 2 weeks before, the Pastor Rivera, he had held a seminar on how to invite people to church. And my mom, Margaret Velez, she felt the calling and the need to attend that seminar. So she went to that seminar, and after she attended that seminar, when the campaign was gonna start after this Friday, she started inviting friends to this campaign, and they went. And she was like surprised. And so she played a big role in this. So after they finished the campaign, they heard about the Bible study that I was doing at the house, and they decided to come. So it took about a week after I submitted myself and I surrendered myself. Since I only had like my daughters and me, we were the only ones in the Bible study. Like a week later, we have a big group. And that's how all these ladies and all these people, they started coming to the Bible study. So I had a meeting with the pastor. He came to visit the Bible study group and he liked it a lot. So I met with him and he told me what was the status, that he wanted me to do some seminars on what I was doing in my house. And then I said, but can I do that? And I'm not even baptized. So, and he said, well, would you like to get baptized? Would you like to renew your vow that you had when you were a teenager or whatever? Yeah, I think I would like to do that. He said, okay, so share that with your group and see what happens. So I shared with the group. I said, look, I'm going to get baptized. I wanted to let you guys know in case that you decide after we're done with the faith of Jesus that you wanted to do it too. To say, yes, I want to do it. I want to do it. Okay. So it was only 3 of us. And then little by little, as weeks went by, one more added to it. And before you knew it, the 9 of us, we were ready to get baptized March the 29th, 2014.
Now, with the group that she prepared for be baptized, and she also was baptized with the group. This is an amazing story. What really impressed me is if a person that is not Seventh-day Adventist can do that for the Lord. What is the message that we as Seventh-day Adventists receive from that? Can we do the same?